Hello there. I think it might have cut that off, I don't know. Hello there. The storm is starting. I'm Alextrocute. Not really sure if I should use that intro for vlogs or not, but that's what I'm using for now. I don't have an intro for these. The last vlog I did was about the wisdom teeth thing, which have completely healed up, or at least sort of. I don't feel any pain anymore. So the last vlog that I actually made was the time one, and I'm going to be sort of talking about I don't know, a thing that kind of affects how I feel a lot of the time, but it's not in that kind of vein. I'm talking about school. It's a great thing. You get to learn a lot of stuff. Some things you do want to learn, some things you don't want to learn, but I get that some people say some of the things that you learn in school you're never going to use, and I understand that, but I also understand the people that say that it helps you learn certain skills. Not actually doing the thing is the thing that you need to learn, but how to solve problems and stuff like that. I'm not sure if it's completely true that doing that kind of stuff helps you, since it's mostly, for me in math, it's just memorization. I'm not sure if that can help you all that much in certain things, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I don't really look into that stuff all that much. But anyway, about school in general. Going back to school always makes me feel, I don't know, it's a very weird feeling. I mean, at first I always think of all the good things that I'm going to do, and then I think of all the things that I don't want to do, like the classes that I'm not particularly interested in, the ones that I think might be far harder than last year, that kind of stuff. But there's also the part of me that thinks that, every school year has that one thing that happens that nobody just likes, and it just happens for no reason. And you never have an idea of what it is. Maybe it's a similar thing every time, but it's always slightly different. So you don't know when or what to expect it. It's usually at the end of the year or second semester, maybe in the first semester. Maybe something like that happens multiple times a year. I definitely know that kind of stuff has happened to me multiple times a year in previous years, but not so sure about recently. I mean, I just kind of let the school year go on its own for the most part, not affect any of the other school years for the most part, and none of the classes either. In my mind, all the classes are separated. Like, I don't hate school just because this one class I absolutely despise. It's not like I absolutely hated going to school every day just because I had to take Spanish 2 in high school the first year, which I already took Spanish 1 the previous year, which was super tiring to have to take 2 years of Spanish just to graduate, but whatever, that's over with. It's gonna be over with, like, it's been over with, done with at least for over a year, almost 2 years now. I don't even know. It doesn't even matter, really. Yeah. But anyway, the classes that I really am going to like taking this year is game design, and that will probably have a lot of elements of programming, maybe some animation stuff too. It's a new class. It took the place of animation, which was the thing that I was doing before, and I'm mostly into drawing right now, but I've been thinking about animating some stuff. Animation takes quite a long time, as you would expect, so I think animation is super cool, but I think doing more of a comic thing would be my kind of thing, but it's not like I'm ruling out doing animation entirely. There's also programming, of course, game design. But programming is more of just an all-around kind of thing, you know? It's the basic stuff of computers. If you know how to program, you basically know how to do just about anything. Not literally, but it's insanely helpful. The only other thing that I've heard at least my dad talking about a lot is actually building computers, which I think would be super helpful. It's super cost effective and stuff like that, but I'm not so sure how complicated that is. You definitely have to buy your own parts. You don't want to make the individual parts of a computer. Parts of the computer, like the smallest transistors that just are single on and off switches, are smaller than viruses, so I don't want to know how to create those in like computer chips and stuff. Like, just buying those and creating computers, that's a good skill. I mean, learning how to make the basic parts too, that's also awesome, but there's a certain point to where, like, I want to learn exactly how to do this and everything about it. You basically are just learning how to make it from the elements in the earth, which most people aren't going to take the time to do themselves. That's why everybody has their individual job. Like, you take this stuff, one person takes this stuff from the earth, brings it out of the ground or whatever, unless it's the silicon, which just comes from sand. But, you know, there's actually a lot of gold in electronics, if I remember right, because it's super conductive or whatever. But anyway, a person takes all the needed stuff, a person turns that into the parts, and other people assemble it into the electronics. 3 completely different jobs, and also somebody sells it to you. So, in fact, 4 different jobs, you know. But I'm pretty much getting super off topic here. But anyway, about school. Everybody I'm trying to think of what to say here. Everybody just thinks about how much harder their New Year classes are going to be compared to last year. And most of the time, it's wrong, but you can never help but feel that this is going to be the time. This is going to be the time where it gets super hard, especially when you hear people say that they've had experience with how hard it is or whatever. And that's kind of at the point where I am right now with math. I was going to take something else in math other than pre-calculus, but that's what I'm taking. I guess it was because it would help me do better in college or something like that. I think the other one was statistics. I remember that. But anyway, the other thing is English. And about math, I'm not so much scared of that one because by the end of the year, I had a 90 in every class, including my Algebra 2 class last year. Although calculus isn't a thing that I've ever gotten into, and math was hard for me at the start. I didn't get an A in that, I think, the first year, but I did get a B in that. I think it's because I was in pre-AP probably, and they already made the normal stuff harder. Like, a combination of things happened that year, but that's just getting too much into it. But anyway, about English, the main problem is going to be not coming up with ideas. Pretty much the best person in the entire world with, if I can hold these paper up, I'm a pretty good person coming up with ideas and all that for writing. But the actual problem, you know, just like drawing all this stuff, is actually getting it on paper and getting it to be how you want it to be in your head, because very few people can actually just have a thing in their head and know exactly how to do that in the medium that they want to. So I'll be like, yeah, this is exactly how I want this to be. There's going to be this here, and this here. But then I realize I don't have an exact plan for how I'm going to lay that out. Because, I mean, yeah, I have this, and this. But how am I going to convey this, and this in the way that I want to, you know? It's not that simple. Yeah, science class, that's a cinch for me. I don't care what science, well, I care what science class I have next year because science is super interesting. You want to talk about quarks and gluons? Never mind. Anyway, I forget what science class I'm taking next year, but whatever it is, it's hopefully not just going to be boring and things that I already know. That's pretty much the only bad thing that could possibly happen, a whole year of science where I don't learn anything and I just know everything and it's boring the entire time. That's basically the only bad thing that can happen. But from what I remember, even though I don't remember the specific class that I have, I don't think that's the case, but let me think here. Science, math, English. Why am I forgetting the fourth core class? Am I stupid? Science, math, English. What is the fourth one? Am I seriously this stupid? Why don't I remember the fourth one? I don't know, it's probably something. I don't know why I forget that. I mean, seriously, what is it? Science, math, English/reading, and then there's some fourth core class that I just can't remember for some stinking reason I don't understand. Anyway, I took theater tech last year because you needed a fine arts credit too, and I thought theater tech might be fun, and I did definitely learn some things there, but I mean, the character design part I liked a lot. That's helped me with a lot of my drawing, but I mean, all of the actual theater stuff I wasn't really all that into. I'm not a theater person. And I'm not gonna condemn people for liking theater, and I don't want to go, it's 2018, but I mean, it is 2018. Look at all the technology around us, and people are still going to theaters to watch theater plays. I'm not gonna say people can't do that, but I personally am not going to go and do that. I don't see the point, and I don't think that was ever fun to me, or will ever be fun. But anyway, enough of that. Is there anything else that I guess I should talk about the core classes in general, because everybody has to take the common core classes every year. Still can't remember that fourth one, whatever it is. I really wish I did. Maybe I should make a short video talking about that specific class or whatever once I actually remember it. I'll label it like Vlog-4 Part 2 because I'm weird like that. But anyway, once I remind myself of that fourth core class, if I even do in this video, but the common core classes, science, math, reading/English, and that other thing that I can't even remember. I'm so stupid. Social studies, aka history. Why did I forget about that? Why did I forget about that? I mean, my dad would be so, he would be so unproud of me because I forgot history class. He's a history kind of guy, you know? Man, history class, don't really have any bad feelings about history class. I mean, history is definitely fun, but yeah, it is fun, but it's just kind of hard to actually get yourself completely immersed in most of the things, like when a war's not going on or something like that. And it's hard to get other people immersed, even though I am mostly immersed most of the time, but I mean like real immersion, you know, like real thinking about it as it actually would have been to experience those circumstances in real life because they were real. It's just super hard to put yourself in that position. And the thing is that you don't even really need to do that. But it just feels like that's what you should be doing, but it's insanely hard to actually do that. I've never been able to feel that exact way myself in history. And the funny thing is that they keep teaching the same things over and over again. Like he had Texas history because I live in Texas, which was its own country at its own time, and I think it definitely deserves to have its own history. Taught here at least, because I mean I live here. But the funny thing is that I just got taught like world history, which I don't think I've taken before, and I haven't taken Texas history since like whenever I first took it, I don't know. But the funny thing is that I'm taking U.S. history again this next year, and you think that would be far easier to learn than world history, because I mean you live in the U.S. and you already know most of that stuff, because literally a year after or a year before Texas history, I think it should have been after I learned Texas history, I learned U.S. history, and I don't remember having a problem with it. I mean, why do I need to learn that stuff again? Unless it's an extremely expanded version going super in depth, but most of the time, except for occasional times every year, which usually are some in every year, they usually just teach you the normal cookie cutter stuff, none of the stuff that most people don't already know. And if you don't already know it, you probably just don't care to know it in the first place, but I personally care to know absolutely everything that everybody can know. That's not completely true, but I care to know everything about everything that I care about. That sounded a bit weird, but anyway. I don't know why that sounded so weird, but I think that's basically all the classes. I'm probably missing some that I'm taking this year and probably some that I took last year. But anyway, I do still have some things to talk about. This video's going on a lot longer than I thought it would, but hey, I haven't made a vlog in a while, so whatever. And it feels like my voice is going out. That's fun. Whew. Have I not taken a breath this entire time? That's great. Just give me a second here. I need to relax. I talk so much. I literally just can't stop talking sometimes, especially, well, during vlogs, not while I'm making videos. I can definitely stop talking when I'm making videos. But I guess a vlog would count as a video too, so just don't believe anything I am saying. What do I know? Yeah. But anyway, gym class or PE or sports stuff or whatever, I'm not into those kind of things. Never really been an athletic guy. The only sport I ever really liked was soccer, and most recently I was into basketball, never football or baseball or anything like that. I guess I was into badminton for a while. I was into dodgeball a little bit, but never really actually into sports, not like trying to get into any teams or anything. Also golf, which I was going to do something for, but just no. Like I said, I'm not into really any sports. The only thing I ever do is play be like in the gym and just launch baskets or just kick a soccer ball in the field or something. I don't actually play the real game or anything. Maybe sometimes I play it with a couple of friends, but you know what I'm talking about. Just need to take a couple breaths and slow down before I end the video. The last thing that I was going to talk about was there was this thing that I took the year before last year, my freshman year in high school. It was called Maps, and my dad kept on saying he thought it was for history credit, but I always knew it wasn't. Even it's not actually about maps at all, like geography or anything, or where physical places actually are, which I had no idea is actually trouble for some people. I mean, if you ask me where Nicaragua is, I'm not going to be able to tell you where Nicaragua is. But I mean, if you ask me where France is or where Poland is, I could probably tell you where Poland is, okay? I can tell you where Turkey is. I can tell you where all these places are, but I guess in geography, maybe that's not what geography is about. I guess maybe geography and the other thing are a bit separate, but I'm talking about actual maps when the maps class was just about helping the students, I don't know, manage their workload, like transition into high school during their first year, but I definitely get the transitioning into high school thing, but the thing about that is that it's not available to anybody else other than freshmen. Maybe it was available to sophomores, I don't think so. But I mean, some higher level people like juniors, which I'm about to become, and seniors, might need that kind of help to get them through some of the far tougher years in high school, to be able to give them some extra time to work on some of their stuff from their classes, you know, things like that, which I definitely did in school. I just used that extra time to work on the stuff that I simply didn't want to work on at home, because of the fact that, I mean, nobody likes homework, and I think I've heard a lot that homework doesn't improve anything, which would be awesome if that's true. But I guess I really just think that, even though I've heard it before, well, I mean, there might be proof, but I don't want to say anything completely definitively just in case it's not. But anyway, basically, I think that it might not be that easy these next couple of years in high school, something like that. It's a bit hard to turn on the camera, by the way, like look into the camera like this and also turn it on at the same time, because of the fact that I don't want to be looking here, but I have to press this thing on the iPad because they're connected, because I can't really start a video having it facing me without having it connected here, but I still need to face it, and I need to press this button on the screen. But yeah, I think I've said before that I say "but yeah" a lot. At least my dad mentioned that to me, or somebody. Anyway, yeah, I do a lot of that kind of stuff, I guess. I was going to talk about the hardness of the higher years, but I guess the last thing that I want to talk about is not the hardness of the higher years, because I mean, I've heard stuff about it, I haven't really experienced it yet. And by the way, I haven't actually said the date that I'm going back to school on, It's Wednesday this week, so after tomorrow I'm going back to school, which is... The first few days aren't that bad, but I mean, first day of school last year was a super enraging day because I got the same math teacher as I did last year, which was fine. And I don't think he did this to me in my freshman year in geometry class, but my Algebra 2 teacher, which was the same person who taught me geometry, gave us a test on the first day. Like, what the heck do you remember from last year? And I don't think anybody did well on that, simply because of the fact that no teacher can accept the fact that nobody just has the energy to absorb all of that stuff into their body and remember it forever, when they mostly realize that they have no use for it outside of the class unless they're doing a really specific thing or they want to do a really specific thing for the future. Yeah, the final thing that I was going to leave out on this video, like I was saying earlier, this video might be getting insanely long, but whatever, I don't care, is the fact that it seems like the high schools, maybe this is the same at college or whatever, maybe it's not, because I guess you graduate from college, or, well, yeah, it'd probably be, or maybe not, I don't know, because the thing that I'm talking about is graduates. The more graduates a school has, the better they look. Maybe that's the same for colleges too, like the more people get out of the college, the better they look, that kind of thing. I've heard some stuff that schools might make it easier so they could get more graduates or look better, that kind of thing, which could very well be true. But it seems like they aim at doing stuff like, you need to go to college and you need to graduate for like juniors and seniors especially, and they don't seem to focus very much at all on the freshmen or the sophomores. It seems like the sophomores are the most overlooked, like, all the time. I mean, you're not super new and you're not super old. I guess you could say the same way for the juniors, but I mean, they're about to become seniors. They're like 1 year away, and that just kind of seems like a good time to start getting them ready for their year, to where they're going to be able to graduate and it's going to be the hardest or whatever. And I'm about to become a junior, like I was saying, but it seems like sophomores and freshmen get overlooked, sophomores especially. Maybe the freshmen do, I don't know. But I obviously came from those two places, and I'm still kind of thinking about that even though I'm moving on, because I really realized during those 2 years the school body itself mainly just aims everything towards the seniors and juniors and hardly does anything specific for the freshmen, and sophomores even less, that kind of thing. And other than being the graduating 2020 class, I mean, it's cool and all, but does that actually mean anything? No, it doesn't mean a thing. Other than having a 2020, like, perfect vision year graduation or whatever, I mean, that doesn't change a thing that we were overlooked or whatever. I mean, I think we had one poster, but, whatever. It just seems like the school always focuses on the higher graded people so they can look better, have them go to college more, graduate more, all that kind of thing, while all the newcomers are just kind of overlooked until they get to that point where they can make the school look good by graduating and all that. I know it seems like I'm putting a lot of blame on the school, and I kinda am. And I'm not, and like I was saying earlier, I'm not completely sure about a lot of the stuff that I'm saying. I'm just saying that I've heard it before. And honestly, I probably shouldn't be putting a lot of the blame on the school because there's probably a lot of other reasons that they do that, but there's no real way for me to know those kind of things, so I can only speak from a student's perspective. And I should probably save some other things for another vlog in the future, maybe like a teachers union thing. Because this video is getting so super long already, it feels like I'm trying to fit absolutely everything into this one video. So yeah, I should probably stop. I think that's a good long video, me talking about a lot of the stuff that I think about school, that kind of thing. And leaving a lot of the stuff that I forgot about, like some of the classes from previous years and things for me to talk about in the future. Like teachers unions and stuff. And by the way, the very, very last thing, and this is truly the last thing in the video, I'm not sure yet how going to school is going to affect my upload schedule. I've started uploading only one video a day recently. I guess it's just because I'm not tired of making videos, but it just seems like I'm in a constant rush. Like, I need to make more videos, but it seems like getting one out a day is pretty much good enough because of the fact that it feels like I'm not completely rushing myself. It feels like I'm making slow progress, even though I'm not really making progress, quote unquote, on YouTube. But whatever. Like I've been saying multiple times before, I never really intended this to be my job or anything. Make super big money off of this or whatever. Nobody really does. Nobody gets completely rich off of YouTube or anything. The main thing that I was hoping is that maybe, just maybe, I might be able to get a little bit of money from doing videos or whatever. Yeah, and I'm not sure how going to school is going to affect my uploading schedule. I think I might have already said that, but who knows? Yeah, my voice is starting to feel really bad. Ugh. Definitely need to end the video here. And by the way, next video I'm going to be doing tomorrow is going to be drawing stream number 11. The very last video on the, well, not very last video, but just last video of the summer. I've kind of been thinking about, man, if I just started back up this YouTube channel farther back in December, who knows what I might have accomplished, and that might be true, but it also might not be true. For a while there, I was getting, quote unquote, a lot of views. A lot of my videos were getting like above 5, like 8, 12, that kind of number. My highest viewed video has 19. I try not to watch my own videos if I can help it, which I should probably do at some point. I mean, what's stopping me from watching my own old videos? And they're not bad per se. Some of them are bad quality, like video wise, but some of them aren't bad. Keep saying I'm going to end the video here. The reason why I do that, by the way, is that I don't want to just artificially give myself views, which is something that I can also talk about in the future. Don't want to do that kind of thing, just want to be super fair. Maybe too much, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why I feel that way. It's not like I'm going to make a lot of channels just to subscribe to myself or anything to make myself super popular. Like, I have a lot of subscribers and that gets a lot of people to see me because it gets supported in YouTube's algorithm or whatever. Although that probably wouldn't work because my videos still wouldn't be getting any views, but I could see a lot of people doing that kind of thing, you know? Yeah. I don't want to say it's just wanting to be fair or anything. Yeah, it's kind of hard to describe, but I keep saying I'm going to end the video, but yeah, I should probably just end the video here. Leave myself with anything else to talk about for another vlog in the future. So anyway, yeah, thank you for watching. The storm is ending. I am Alextrocute. Need to probably get a different intro and outro for these vlogs. And goodbye. Air conditioning just turns on right when I want to stop. It's awesome.